Welcome to this 365 Freedom Explainer. Today, we're looking at the architecture of freedom-based offers. We're going to break down why structuring your pitch around your client's freedom number is really the only reliable way to scale high-ticket sales without trading away all your time. Because let's be honest, so many founders are trapped paying what we call the access tax. You know the feeling, right? It's that exhausting cycle where you're constantly selling your personal availability just to secure those high-ticket closes. But here's the truth. Promising 24/7 access to your time is a massive structural failure that severely limits your ability to scale. People don't actually want to buy your continuous presence. What they're buying is the exit from their own operational headaches. So to escape this trap, we have to implement the decoupled value protocol. We need to completely break the chain between your personal hours and the results you deliver.
Now, in the past, maybe you tried selling based on features. You'd go on and on about speed, intricate mechanisms, or how incredibly fast your software is. Well, here is the harsh reality. Nobody truly cares about that stuff. Let's contrast that exhausting, outdated model with a highly lucrative shift, selling sovereignty. This means selling time, freedom, and the exit. Consider this microstory we call the 60-minute war. There was a software founder who was constantly losing deals to a competitor. Why? Because they were locked in a battle over whose processing engine was faster, literally fighting over a 60-minute task reduction. They completely lost sight of the actual buyer. But the very moment this founder stopped talking about processing speed and instead looked prospects in the eye and said, "This gets you home for dinner with your kids an hour early every single night," guess what? Sales tripled. It's a total paradigm shift from how it works to what it actually means for them. Remember this core philosophy. People don't buy products, they buy the freedom those products provide. It really is that simple. Your customers are tired, they're stressed out. What they're actually looking for is an out. They want a tangible way to buy back their lives. If your marketing is completely hyper-focused on just the mechanical operation of your product, you're missing the underlying human desire driving that purchase. They want sovereignty. Section 1, the engine versus the exit. Sell the destination. See, when your marketing focuses exclusively on how your product works, the engine, rather than what it means for the buyer, the exit, you completely miss the mark. You're out there trying to sell them pistons and spark plugs when all they want to know is, will this car get me home? So how do we actually quantify that exit? We use what's called the freedom number. This is a specific target metric that allows a prospect to buy their life back and achieve ultimate sovereignty. Every single one of your prospects is running toward their own version of this number. The product you're selling, it's just the vehicle. The only question your prospect actually cares about is, can you help them hit their freedom number faster, safer, or cheaper than they could do it alone? Building this into a practical strategy means you have to follow the path to sovereignty. You have to focus entirely on what the product means. Does it give them more time with their family? Does it instantly remove a massive daily headache? Most importantly, this is how you make price irrelevant through time savings. Price only becomes an issue in the absence of value, right? And since the highest value you can possibly offer another human being is time, positioning your offer around their path to sovereignty absolutely eliminates price resistance. This is exactly where the decoupled value protocol becomes your ultimate weapon. By decoupling the value you provide from the raw hours you personally work, you achieve true operational leverage. You aren't billing for your presence anymore. You are billing for the accelerated result. If your offer clearly speeds up their journey to that freedom number without relying on your constant availability, well, the price tag suddenly becomes just a minor secondary detail.
Section 2. The high-ticket offer framing value.
So we have to practically apply this by changing the entire script of how we present our services to exhausted founders. Think about the number 10 for a second, specifically 10 hours a week. You need to stop pitching your service as this massive laundry list of deliverables. If you can definitively prove that your service saves a prospect 10 hours a week, you weren't just selling a service anymore. You were literally selling them their Friday afternoons back. Ask yourself, what is the value of getting every single Friday afternoon back for the rest of the year? I mean, it's easily worth 10 times what you're currently charging. When you frame your offer around saving them that specific block of time, around their freedom number, you completely flip the value equation.
Section 3. Salesperson to guide. Shift your identity.
Now, to truly master high-ticket sales this way, you've got to abandon that traditional salesperson identity. You aren't just out there pushing a transaction. Instead, you must become a strategic guide, someone who navigates the obstacles between where they are right now and their ultimate goal. But how exactly do you make that shift? Well, it comes down to 3 distinct phases. Phase 1, show empathy. You have to genuinely understand their specific struggles and those terrible operational headaches keeping them awake at night. Phase 2, build authority.
You have to prove that your specific vehicle or system is absolutely the right one to get them to their destination safely. And finally, phase 3, secure the agreement. Following these distinct phases ensures that you're selling peace of mind and control. It reduces the transaction itself from some high-pressure pitch to just a simple, formal agreement to move forward together toward their freedom number. Whether you're selling high-end consulting, complex B2B software, or even physical goods, you are tapping into a universal underlying desire. People want more control over their life, total peace of mind, and unrestricted freedom. The data consistently shows that the underlying motivation of your prospect remains exactly the same, totally across the board in every industry. They just want control. When you sell the control and you sell that peace of mind, you tap into a universal human driver that absolutely transcends whatever specific widget or service you happen to be offering. So ask yourself right now, are you selling the vehicle or are you selling the destination? You must critically evaluate your current pitch. Go review your website, look over your sales scripts. Are you still pushing gadgets, features, and your own personal availability? Or are you finally selling the ultimate commodity, the destination of sovereignty? Sovereignty really is the most valuable commodity in the world. Recognizing this is the logical transition from being a time-bound service provider who was just burning out to becoming a sovereign system architect who scales effortlessly. If you're ready to master the architecture of freedom-based offers and stop selling gadgets to start selling freedom, your logical next step is to visit 365freedom.online today. Let me leave you with this final thought. If your current offer relies on you trading your time to prove its value, do you truly own a business? Or have you just invented a much more complicated job for yourself?